Good afternoon. Welcome to the QCIS channel, where you get a daily dose of science, technology, engineering, and math. My name is Leon Jones, and I'm gonna call this video part 2. Now, in the previous video, what you saw was how plate samples were taken for bituminous testing. Now, during this video, it's part 2 of bituminous testing, and what you're going to see is how core samples are taken. Because when you take samples, we want to make sure that we get them for testing, and we want to make sure everything is all right. Now, what you see the contractor with is a core machine. And of course, here's some of the paperwork, density report, and there's the old core machine. That's what we're going to use to take cores. The core drill machine. Oh yeah, the core bit. Now that core bit is going to be going into the asphalt to take the sample, and they're going to place the sample in those yellow cylinder molds. Now again, we have to make sure that everything works. And there's information that you have to write.
Put 313 or put 11A and B on the same piece of tape. We can lay these on my floorboard. I won't need a bucket.
Sure.
Yep. We'll lay them on my floorboard, then I'll drop them at the lab tonight. We'll be okay.
And again, this is all the paperwork that you see. Here it is. All the numbers that are taken. And now here's the core machine. Here we go. Start core. Want to pull it out of it? Because of the cap that they put between the binder cord and the surface cord. Sometimes the cords are hard to do. We'll see what's going to happen today. This is how you take cord. getting ready to do is pull the cores. Show what they look like. Oh, remember when they pulled them on Saturday? Tough job pulling these cores. But this one looks like it's coming out.
This is ours.
Here's the core sample as it comes out. Yeah. Beauty.
This one's ours.
Yes, that one's ours. This one's theirs. That'll be 1B.
Things on the cylinder mold correctly. Make sure it's labeled. Core sample. Probably have to wait for that to cool now.
No. It's got a little bit of a lip around the bottom, so it'll be all right. I'll get her down. There we go.
That's what it looks like after they pull the cores. Of course, you gotta fill that back in. I guess the other section of those other ones will be ready to be taken too, huh?
What's that? Well, if we're not past 600 ton, they won't.
No, not the second. I'm talking about the other station we just marked at 307.
Yes, we'll go straight up and get in.
All right, I'll meet you all up there.
Okay.
All right. Well, going, seeing the operation. That's how they pull cores. Now that was at station 311. Now, how do they know where to take the cores? They got it from me. I'm the one that had the stations marked. So I'm going to show you what I marked out before the cores were taken. Because it's very important that you have all the information right. And you get your exercise out here when you are paving. And right now the pavement has cooled down. I'm going up to the next street here. Okay, this is Taylor Street. Again, if you want to know what that joint seal looks like, that's the joint seal that I told you about. Goes all the way up. And it goes all the way up here. You can see. Now, for the cores. All right. Here's the station that I picked. Here's a sample, 118, 30770. And here are the two areas that I marked. We're going to be taking the cores. So get ready to set it up. And you're going to see the process all over again.
Yep. Move, 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 move.
And as an inspector, I sit here and just supervise it. And that way you're getting a full brand of testing and sublot. This is the first sublot. Again, review, here's a pour machine.
Yeah, no. We're good.
So you get a review. Here we go. It's the core machine. Again, he's repeating the same procedure that he did for the first test. But on this test, I showed you the information, the station that I marked, the area that I marked for them to take the core. We're going to pull two of them. We get a core. They get a core. core number 1 correct and done. Here comes core number 2, the same process. Get ready to pull the first core. Then here's the process. Pull that core. Here's the final knot. There's also a way to handle the core and mark the cores. Technicians put a line on the cores because the cores have to be cut. And they have to be cut based on the depth of the pavement that they place. So although the core may have been cut 6 inches, they have to cut at least 1.5 inches off. So that's why it's being marked with that yellow chalk. Right.
You had it off. I just some turn it off, some don't.
I tried it.
And I always did too. That's why when it was running, I'm like, wait a minute, I bet she got it off. And that's the only reason I was asking.
Yeah.
All right, then we get it out. All right,
This is his corner.
those came out a little easier.
Yeah. Just a little deeper.
Yeah, a little deeper, okay. Show you what the holes look like. Fill the holes back up. There's the cylinder mold. And he's taking a piece of keel, which is chalk, he's marking it off. Yep, this is an A.
1-1A.
Put it right in that good old cylinder mold.
1A.
Fits like a glove. Right in the cylinder mold. That's it.
That is it. That is a wrap. We'll go get some mix and we'll get them filled back up.
All right. Hey, I appreciate it, and I'll be ready for the next one.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Well, you're welcome. Well, and that's what I've just presented to you. So just to review, you've just seen how testing for Bituminous is taken. And what I did, I showed you the plate samples. I showed you how they weigh the plate samples. I showed you how the areas for the cores were marked by station and of course by product number. And I showed you how the core machine looked. And I also showed you what the cores look like. And I've shown you what the box samples look like. So basically, when it comes to surface, we have 600-ton sublots. So it's a 3,000-ton lot. So when it comes to lots, we have to have 5 samples per lot. Now when we get to the binder or the intermediate course, the sublots are 1,000 ton for a 5,000 ton lot, but the process is the same. So what you all saw was testing. Bituminous testing, just like concrete. You got a chance to see the core machine. And that bit, when it doesn't work, you can't cut the cores. So when it comes to testing, there's always a procedure. Now most people don't understand structure, but you have to have structure when you're working in this business. And as an inspector, it's my job to make sure that the due diligence is done correctly. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take you out on a new mat. This is the new mat that they laid. Now, something to tell you. When they do these approaches, you see that joint seal? They're going to have to put more of that joint seal down as well, because they're going to have to bind the 2 joints together. When they put in this next strip, they're going to have to do the same thing. Again, this is your joint seal. Now, yesterday, this is what your milled surface looks like. This is what your wedge looks like. And this is what your final surface looks like. This right here is what your asphalt approach looks like. As it approaches the street. That's Duval Street. And of course, this is what your concrete approach looks like. Again, this is the new mat that they placed today. I just wanted to make sure you all saw all the testing that was involved. Now, something that you should know. You also have to be able to read plans. Now, I'm going to show you my plans. These are my plans that I have. And I'm going to actually show you how I got the stations. If you're not familiar with a station is a location. And also something you need to know when we do concrete or asphalt is the tickets. Now what I do with my tickets, I always mark them. Where do we take it? The approach, the station, and exactly what route number and avenue. And with these tickets, this is your total tonnage. I do that because when I go and pay the contractor, they know exactly where everything was taken. Now, to show you something else, the plans, and these are very important as an inspector. Now, when I took the first test, I got it at, you heard me yell out 300 plus 00. This is 300 plus 00 on the plans. This is over there where the IGA is. This is where I took the test. I took the test here because it was a feasible place, because it was an even station. Now, when I set up to do the cores, took it right down here. 307, 30770, North Taylor Street. Well, here's 307 and here's 308. And basically what I did, I always cut the stations into quarters, 25, 50, 75. So I took it right around 307.75, but I basically estimated around 307.70. That's where we took the first cores at. That's where the first core should have been taken, core A. Now, over here right around Family Dollar and American Rental, I took the second set of cores at 311, right in this area right here. Now, I like to take mine in the area of the approaches, because a lot of traffic comes out of the approaches. You have more load coming out of the approaches. But when you read these plans, you got to read the plans to find all of the information. Most people don't know how to read the plans. So as an inspector, my job is to show you how to read the plans. Now, something else that I do, that I track with asphalt. Right here, you see that they laid intermediate. Well, I usually take this and put down the total tonnage. Like, this is the tonnage that I did the other day, 2083.12. And this is a station where we stop. Now, when I did my test, this is where I stopped. Everything here is tracked. Everything. This is where I took all my information for the intermediate as well. And this is where the other inspector came. And see, the paperwork has to be filled out right, because if I'm not on this task, the person that's going to be on this task, instead of asking me, they can pick up basically where I left off. In other words, it's an act as if I wasn't there. And to be an inspector, you know, there's certain things you have to do. There's certain things that I use, like when I want to take temperature. I have a temperature gun. Now, right now, you see the temperature? It's taking an ambient temperature. It's 67 degrees, if you can see it. That's what I do. I shoot it at 68 degrees. That's the temperature. Now, I go show you how I take the temperature of the asphalt, because it has an infrared light in this temperature gun. So I shoot it down, and it gives me the temperature, 91. That's the asphalt temperature. Generally, the asphalt is a little hotter than the ambient temperature. But basically, that's what you do when you test concrete. Just want to make sure that the design mix is proper and the product is placed according to specifications. Now, that concludes this topic on Bituminous testing part 2. If you like what I just presented, please comment, share, and subscribe. And if you're looking for some social content, check out the 411 Talk Zone radio show on YouTube. Now, if you can't find the QCIS channel or the 411 Talk Zone radio show on YouTube, you can find both of those channels on Twitter. Now, for the QCIS channel, I take it one step further. Since it's a professional and educational channel, I put that channel on LinkedIn. And once again, I want to thank you for viewing this video on Bituminous Paving Testing Part 2. Until next time, my name is Leon Jones. I want you all to have a wonderful and gracious afternoon.